T. Clark here, and this video is going to go over the 2016 AP Computer Science A FRQ question 2B. And in 2B, I don't need to worry about what I did in A. I'm going to assume that works. Even if it doesn't work, even if you leave it blank on part 2B, you can assume it works fine. So let's look at what 2B says. It says, write the log message method contains word. So we're on this part right here. I'm going to delete this return false because that was just temporary, so I didn't have an error. I give myself some room here. I'm going to say I'm implementing it now. So here we go. I'm actually in my main. I'm going to comment out to A, and we're on 2B now. Okay, so here we go. Contains word, which will return true if the description properly contains a given keyword and returns false otherwise. Okay, so properly contains, what does that mean? A description properly contains a keyword if all three are true. So we need probably 3 if statements, 3 conditions somehow. The keyword is a substring of the description. So the word is there someplace. Also, the keyword is either at the beginning of the description or it is immediately preceded by a space. So either at the beginning or a space. So I'm going to look at my examples as I'm going through this. So disk properly contains it. This one works because it's at the beginning. This one works because it's immediately after a disk. This one works because this last disk is after a space, and again, I'm looking for a disk. And this one works because this disk is after a space. And then what is this? The keyword is either at the end of a description or it is immediately followed by a space. So either at the end or immediately followed by a space. So this one works because it's followed by a space. And this one works because it's at the end. This one works because it's at the end. Okay, the description on the left table properly contains, and then the right does not. Okay, this one doesn't, obviously, because it's not disk. Capitals matter, so those are not the same strings. This one does not work because it's not at the end, and it's not followed by a space. Okay, it looks like I might have to do some index of stuff. This one does not work because it is at the end, but is not preceded by a space. Okay, and then this one again is at the beginning, so that one works. It's at the this one does not work because it does not followed by a space or is not the end. Okay, so the K, there's no space after the K, or the K is not the end. Okay, so I'm trying to find that the keyword is there. So I first have to see if it's there. So if, okay, I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to say if it's not there, return false. So I'm going to do the false. I'm going to do all the falses first. This might be the hardest one for me. If, okay, so what contains the word? The description. So I'm going to look at description up there. So if description, and how do I know if it contains or not? I'm pretty sure contains is a method, but I'm going to use the methods that I'm only allowed, or I only need to know. So I'm going to use index of. So description dot index of keyword. So if the index is -1, that means it's not found. That means the keyword is not found. The substring is not there. So enter, bracket enter, return false. So if it's not there, it's not found. So I return, yeah, false. So that takes care of this one. So I can cross this out on my paper if I wanted to. So next I have to see if it's at the beginning. So if it's at the beginning, if it's not at the beginning, so if it's at the beginning, it's good. So if it's not at the beginning, it has to be immediately preceded by a space. Okay, I think I know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, okay, if it's not at the beginning, I'm going to have the keyword and a space in it. So I have to look for, now I'm looking for, yeah, this was a lot easier than I thought. Index of, so now I'm seeing, is this a keyword preceded by a space? Is that found? If it's not found, if it's not preceded by a space, so I'm going to say if this, return false. So it's either at the beginning. So if it's not at the beginning, it has to be returned. It has to be preceded by a space. So if I'm doing the Morgan's law in my head. So this is saying if it's at the beginning. Yeah. So De Morgan's is the opposite, and then an and. So I'm actually, and no, I'll keep it two separate ones. This is still an and. If I tried to do an and, it would be kind of, it would be like this, and I wouldn't be able to see it that well. I could do that. Yeah, why not? Well, don't want to do that. Keep that. So if it's not at the beginning and it's not preceded by a space, return false. There we go. So I got the opposite. I got the opposite of that one. I'm actually going to keep that, and I'll do the same thing. I'll try both ways. No, I'm going to. I'll try it the way I had it before, and then I'll try De Morgan's law later. So I'm going to keep that. Last one. If the keyword is either at the end of the description or is immediately followed by a space. So how do I know if it's at the end? So I'm going to do same thing. If my description is the main string, I'm looking to see if the keyword is at the end. So in this case, if it's at the end, that means it's at length minus, so what was this? This one's at the end. So it was length minus 4. Yeah, length minus the. So this is at the end. But I want to go however long the keyword length is. Okay, then again, I'm doing not if it's not at the end. So that was if it was at the end. If the index of the keyword is the length minus where it starts. Okay, and if it's not at the end and it's not immediately followed by a space. So I'm going to use the same concept I did up here and say if the description dot index of keyword, not a keyword, space in front, or immediately followed by a space. So it has to be immediately followed by a space, plus space. Okay, and if it's not there, that means it equals the -1, and I return false. And then at the end, after I'm done checking everything's false, I can assume now it's true. Okay, I think that's it. This one might be a little bit more complicated to understand. I'll try to go over it one more time at the end. Let's see if I can run it. Might need to reload this juice mind. We'll see. Here it goes. What did I mess up? Messed up. Oh, my R. I hit return someplace on accident. What I mess up? 39. Right here. Oh, I don't have a semicolon. I fail. Okay, what? It should be false. It's okay. It looks like my code works. I got all the red trues on the right. So that's good for me. I'm going to combine these now. I'm going to check to see if my original thought about De Morgan's law was valid. Okay, we don't need this one. We can do and here. My brackets are all messed up. going to check this real quick, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more. Looking for those trues. Looks like I got it. Okay, so I was right. So again, I'm applying De Morgan's law to get the opposite versus opposite. Like double opposite to get the negative. Because whenever I do these, I like process of elimination. I like saying, okay, let's get everything on the screen centered and everything. All of these must be true. If one of these is true, or if one of these is false, the contrapositive means if one is false, it's all false. So if it's not there, it's all false. That was easy. Even if you put this and you have trouble with everything else, you could probably get a point, maybe 2 points for just putting this one. Maybe just 1 point because there are 3 parts A, B, C on this one. So if it's not there, you return false. Okay, the next one is I say it's either this one or the other one. And again, this logic I want to do backwards. So I'm going to do the opposite, and then since it's opposite, I have to put an and there. So if it's not at the beginning, and it doesn't start with a space. Remember, -1 means it's not there. So if it starts with a space, it is not there. So if both of these are true, then it's false. So it's not this one or it's not that one. It's neither of those. Okay, similar thing here. If it's at the end, so if it's not at the end, and there's not followed by a space. So I changed the ors to ands and made these both opposite, and then I'm returning false. And again, if you're having trouble with this, think of it if there's like 10 words there, 10 minus 4, it should start at, what is that? 10 minus 4 is 6, yeah. So it would be at 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's 4. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So it started at index 6. It should start at index 6. And then because I'm doing contrapositive, at the end, everything is true. If it passes all of that, it means all of this is true. Okay, I kind of rambled there at the end. Have a good day.